Kangela wena sihlolele zinsuku Dikhumula wena adlulela malanga
Makhumalo, sawubona Makhumalo.
Sawubona njani?
Ngiyaphila. Welcome to Magriza Made Me Cook.
Thank you.
Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthi iwe ingxenye of the show today.
Absolutely.
So many questions engizokubuza wona.
Okay.
In terms of Misel.
Hayi ngizimisela.
So tell us about growing up in the beautiful city of
Bulawayo.
Yeah.
Ngiyathaba namhlanje ukuthi sibuyile sabona ugogo. Ngikhuliswe ngugogo. Ngikhulele eNketha, which is a township elapha koBulawayo. It was good growing up here. It's peaceful, it's quiet. Yeah, I just grew up in a very ngijayele ukuthula. Ukuzithulele, yeah.
Then we wakhuluma ngogogo uthi ukhuliswa ngugogo.
Yeah.
What ngizaluza this question because lami ngikhuliswa ngogogo. The one the show is predicated vele Magriza was what's one thing that ugogo taught you that you still carry with as a parent?
Yeah. I think that I learn a lot from ugogo, especially ku journey yakhe ye farming. Ugogo is a farmer. Esitho exoxa story lesson besithi ukuthi ekseni nxa evuka esiyengadini ngangimlandela.
Awumlandela, yeah.
So for me, I think what has always been wonderful ngogogo ukuthi she's always been self-sufficient. She's never worked for anyone. I actually never knew this until the last time I came home. Ngambuza ukuthi gogo, why did you choose Pella? You must understand ukuthi gogo was widowed at 21 with 4 children. Ngambuza ukuthi why didn't you work? Why? Because bengingafuna ama restrictions, bengingafuna ukuvalelwa.
Okay, bengani bokufa eboxing.
Futhi yabona bengifuna ukusebenza ngesikhathi sami. So I've always carried that independence, and I think it's because of my grandmother. Sanibonani gogo.
Sanibonani kuphile.
Ninjani masitaba?
Kuyaphila.
Yes, livakashele namhlanje.
Anjo.
Yes.
Ngumzukulu wami wokuqala. First born mzukulu. Enjalo ngumngani wami. Umngani wami sazwana kakhulu. Yeah. uBerita uzalwa ngumntanami, first born yami. Yeah. uBerita.
So first mzukulu, we first born.
Yeah. Yena ngwako Khumalo. Njengoba kade ethwethena unina wamtshele 10 months, sibili wamtshele 10 months. Yikho lapho kwadevelopha khona ubungane. Ubungane kakhulu ukuthi sabe lanxa sabe silele same bed. Yes, semvuka. Yena kumele ngimnyenyele. Ngeke ukumnyenyela uyahlavuka khonapho ngavuka la uyahlavuka. Setlevuka khonapho. Khonokho nyabe ngikwenza la uyabe mile khonapho. Umngane wami. uBerita ngambona sibili ukuthi uza kuba lakho. Ulesipho sokuhlabela. Lokhu khona kuye asikho ukuthi kumbe yisipho sibili ngoba mina ngaqalisa ngingafuni. Ngithi lokhu angifuni. Kodwa sesemncane khona phanele 10 months echo. Kwakusithi nxa kungakhala iradio alokhuse akwazi ukulandelela kuhle ilokhuze lilo. Ayilandelele ngendlela yona liyani beat yakhona. Lambonga umangala. Ngibona sibili ukuthi uyalandelela uyakwenza exactly. Elandelela nje esidlalile so. Ngathi ngabona kwasuka khonapho. Wayethanda umuntu olomusa. Enxa idlala labanye abantwana yena uyabefuna ukubafundisa something abantwana bona labo. Nxa kungamabhuku uyababiza ukuthi babuye buye lebhuku azemfundisa. Wayesenza angani ngutitsha.
You know, I remember this one time, I think ngangu grade 4. And then ngangilo mngane esikolo. And umngane lwana used to bully me. Engithathela imali yami ye-break. Ngagcina ngimhambisa kugogo, liyakhumbula gogo.
Yeah.
Ngigcina ngithi gogo nangu lo muntu ongidlela imali.
Ngiyamkhuza, yeah. Ngiyamkhuza ukuthi angenzi kanjalo.
My name is Patisa Khumalo. I'm Gugu's young brother. In a family of 5, I'm the 4th born. So from a very young age, sahamba uyahlala in New Zealand, our whole family. And that's where I spent most of my time growing up with my sister, Gugu. Really those times, Gugu was a supportive person, a rock in the family, and for me, a personal leader. She kept me up through the hard times because being in a new country, you face a lot of adversity, being of a different race, from a different place, and Gugu always made me feel at home and put things into perspective. I didn't feel as lost, you know, when I could come home to my family and Gugu, I felt happy.
Yeah, why feel good? Ngoba anti khona khane sasithengisa ama-seedlings. Siwalungise, sasivuka yikho nisithi ngamvuka layo. Siwalungise, bese sihamba sisiya e-market, e-Pharmascope, la ko-Miklis. Yeah. Sisasikho lapho sasingenisa khona ilokhuza zethu. Esesemncane khona phana. Ngangihamba laye ngimbhabhulile. Kodwa ekwazi ukuthi siya ngaphi. Nxa sesizafika khona ngale, athathi sesifikile. Sesifikile lapho esiyalokhuza khona. Esiyangenisa khona. Yeah.
Okay. So also as a farmer, lawe wawuthatha ikhuba or labantu behlala phansi bexoxela ugogo
Sasilima phela sasilima ama-seedlings. So ama-seedlings mancane. So ngangilima lo gogo. Sometimes abantu babuye bezothenga khona apha ngikhaya. Ngithengisa lo gogo. So now I think I've got a little bit of my grandmother's
experience.
Yeah.
I think ukuwaxoxa ukuthi elihamba ko-Mickles in town.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
I remember this one day sahambe etown. Khona indawo leyana eyayile kwakungathi kuyachaya iband. It's next to Farmers Court. But ayisabasachayi khathesi.
Oh, okay. Palace.
Yes, ePalace
Hotel,
kudala sake sahamba siqede I think saya kudla ePalace laphana kuchaywa ilanga langikhona ngakholisa kakhulu. You know, I always njengoba ugogo sithi ukuthi I always loved music as much as ngisesemncane I wasn't playing an instrument or anything but music lapho kulo music khona I always remember.
That's where your heart was.
Yeah.
Okay, sikhuluma ukudla. Before the music, I know unazigxile kakhulu nge-music. Ukudla sifuna ugogo lapha siphekele umngqushu.
Yeah.
And in Eastern Cape, umngqushu la is also. Yeah. So any fond food memories usakhula lo gogo, even ngale ko Bulawayo?
Nokudla kwakho kumnandi, like ngikhule vele ugogo. What I loved about ugogo ukuthi bengi-spoiler. So ugogo bezathi sometimes maybe apheke i-chicken and ngesitshwala. Ethe sabona isitshwala ngikhale ngithi endlambile athi dla nesinkwa. Ugogo abaningi abakuvumi. In fact umama wakho ngeke akuvuma ukuthi udle isinkwa epheka. But because ngikhulele ugogo ngikhule ngathi gogo endlambile angithathele inyama phakathi sapheka anike i-chicken. Ngiyabona. So now that I'm grown I realize ukuthi actually abantu abakhuliswe ngomama babo they don't have that experience of ukutotoza ngogogo.
So ugogo singathi inkinga because uzama ibekhathi hayi lina elikhuliswa ugogo ngani hayi ngani lidlule kuma soft dance.
Yeah, kumnandi ukhuliswa ugogo. I remember when I used to go to school nxa kugodola umntana kagogo yabonakala kugodola because ugogo uzagqokisa amajezi angu5
uthi emele ukujumala ungahambe la ungabanjwa umntana.
Yeah, so there's something very special. I'm very grateful to my grandmother and I'm also very grateful to you guys at Magriza Made Me Cook to document this memory. Ugogo esaphila.
Yeah, it's particular.
Yeah.
It's going forward now you can have this archive where you can sit down and umhlabelela uzojikizinto.
Yeah.
uyabefuna izinto zona sezinjengabo amathakada inkolo zona zana zamazambane izinto ezinjalo.
Mina ngithanda ukudla kwagogo noma uphekeni ugogo ngithanda isandla sakhe. Isandla sikagogo. Ngoba ugogo can make anything taste nice. Ugogo angakuphekela amatemba so abe mnandi. Ugogo upheka ukudla okumnandi.
Makumalo, yes. I like Makumalo. Then there's the fun ones. There's Jikizinto. There's yours. But then there's one from like way back, Thandolwethu. That one always used to hit me, especially when she's like holding that long note. That was chills. Chills.
Ngaqala ngingawamukelanga.
Ngangakwazi ukuthi ngakwamukelanga.
Ngithi umuntu usefundile waba le degree yakhe. Usethatha isithupha sane sibe sehlabeni. Wasuka lapho wafundela futhi ukuhlabela. Bese semfunda futhi ngokuphela. Usefunda futhi wathi ye vele into engifuna ukuyenza mina yikuhlabela. Isithupha lesigogo engisenzile mina ngathi manje wachitha iminyaka phela ufundela le degree. Wathi hayi lokho nje nganisenzela abanawami ukuthi lokhu i-challenge ukuthi bangathi mina ngaqhumela ngasengisithi senhlabela ngathi isikole angithiyanga isikole mina ngifundile ngaqeda ngaba le degree ngathatha isithupha ngagaqa lapha.
Favorite yeni gogo?
Ngamakhumalo esehlabela.
So the music now, and looking at Eastern Cape.
Yeah.
Where does the journey start now?
So when I was a teenager, lapha ko Bulawayo, ngangihlabela ku choir yasenkonzweni. And we used to go for practice. I think just practice on a Tuesday, on a Thursday. So I used to leave the house, but obviously gogo at the time I wona nje ukuthi umntwana uzihambele enkonzweni. But I would say I enjoyed singing in the choir. I enjoyed that experience, but I didn't know at that time sibiluguti ucula is my calling. I just knew that I love music. And then I moved to New Zealand. Ngahlala khona 3-4 years.
Okay.
Ngase ngibuye Eastern Cape ngizofunda.
Okay.
Before I left New Zealand, I started being interested in my arts. Ngaqala ngokubhala inovel. Ngayibhala inovel, ngayithumelela sibili kuma publishers.
Was it published?
It was not published. I wish I had persisted, because if I had persisted, it would have been published.
Okay.
But that was, I think it made me realize, ukuthi, no man, I want to make music, because everything that I'm trying to say with these 80,000 words, I can say with a song.
Yeah.
So that's how really I got into music. I was painting at the time, being tunga. So I think I was really trying to find my way artistically. But I can say everything I wanted to say.
Okay.
Then I decided, let me find an instrument that I can play. And I knew ukuthi ngokuya e-university ngangizahamba ngiyefunda kwenye indawo, because at the time amaphepha yethu bengakuvuma ukuthi ngifunde eNew Zealand.
Okay.
So I decided to pick up a guitar, because ngangikwazi ukuthi guitar yona you can carry it everywhere you go.
Oh, so that was the first reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
So from there I moved to the Eastern Cape. First day ukufika kwami Eastern Cape ngiyakhumbula cab from the airport going to Erez. I asked the person on drive, abantu balapha, where do people sing?
Okay.
And then he told me about soul club sessions.
Yes.
Soul club sessions. Abantu bayahlabela, omrapper bayarapper, ama-poet enzinto yabo. So I knew ukuthi lami that's where I want to go and start exposing myself.
Okay, so you got this, we'll say, coming from the airport going to the place of residence.
A place of residence. I started playing. I had someone that I overheard people talking about me. They said, uhlabela kamnandi usislow. Uhlabela voice yakhe mnandi. So, you know, and I think that gave me hope, because imagine if I had overheard people saying, yeah, sister.
I was
You know?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that encouraged me. I got a lot of encouragement in the Eastern Cape. I'm
Okay.
so grateful, because that's where my career started.
Yeah.
Mina, when I got to the Eastern Cape, I took the opportunity. The first time that I took a bus to Joburg, I thought to myself, Joburg is too big. I better make it in the Eastern Cape, before I get to Joburg. And that's what happened with the Thandolwethu.
Okay, so it was conceptualized in Eastern Cape.
Yeah, written and co-written. I wrote that song with Ubusisiwe Smith.
Yes.
In the Eastern Cape. Yeah.
So the music, Thandolwethu, so before I go to the albums.
Yeah.
Personal experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Thandolwethu, I used to ngangihlale eRes, right? At Water University. It was my first year. And basically, I used to go to these sessions. So they were called soul club sessions.
Okay, so where the poets, different types of artists.
Different types of artists. Sometimes there would be a band. I would get it. It was really, really good for me, because it gave me an opportunity to express myself. Sometimes there would be a band. I didn't even know that you get paid to make music. I just would go there and just, you know, sing and get my opportunity to be on stage. You know, so, and then that particular night I was singing with a band, Mdantsane.
Okay.
And what I would always do is that when I get to a gig, I would always find a young artist, a female artist, and ask who to zalala ngapi.
Okay.
Then I would ask to sleep at their house, because areas bekvalwa 10.
Yeah.
So that particular night I met Ubusisiwe Smith. I asked if I could sleep at her place. We ended up, she's an artist, like I had my chords and I'd written some melody towards it, but really the song is a life story of Ubusisiwe at the time, what she was going through. Yeah.
Okay. Then this one performed last week at the homecoming. Parama Africa.
Parama Africa.
Yeah, because also on the show we can call ourselves a Pan-African show.
Yeah.
Because we also believe that is Africa. It's time with let's parame. So how did that song come about?
Yeah, that song is very special to me, because I actually sang Hlale New Zealand in my teenage years. What made me want to sing was because I wanted to express myself as an African. Ukuhlala kwami emazweni kwakulama challenges ukuthi abantu they didn't understand who I was. They didn't understand. Where we were staying, so there was too much prejudice around it. And Lami, at the time, you're a teenager. So when you're a teenager, you want to please everyone. But if now you're being rejected because of who you are and where you come from.
Exactly.
So I wrote
what they've heard about you.
And what they've heard. So I wrote Parama Africa to, you know, just to speak to that, to say, Africa is Parame, it's our time. And I mean, look at us now.
Exactly. I'm actually happy about the progress that you've done in your career. It's going forward.
Thank you.
So someone who's watching who's afraid to pick up their guitar and start singing. Guitar can represent anything, metaphor, camera, that proposal, they're afraid to go to school.
Yeah.
What can you tell them?
I think what is to believe in yourself. What I've learned is that things are not always going to be perfect. When I started with my guitar, I didn't have this nice guitar that I have. There's a picture of someone at a gig. Ngile guitar leyana engaconnectiyo. Kungela mic stand. Kufakwe ama mic angu-2. Kungela le mic stand umuntu engibambele so ngihlabela. I think that picture captures ukuthi
resonates.
Believe in yourself. Khonokho lakho qala ngakho. And uNkulunkulu uzakukhokhelela. The same way ugogo wami uyazingenela ensimini yakhe azilimele. uNkulunkulu uyamkhokhelela.
Ndabona lezulu
lezulu nanti likhona.
Then what impact do you want to have in this world? Okay, the work that Berita
Has done.
is doing.
Hey, question is a tough question, but I really want to live to the highest, you know, like fulfill the highest version of myself. Kuqakathekile mina for me ukuthi ngibe ngumuntu estaging laphandle kwe-stage. I love my work and I love music, and I'm so grateful of the things I've been able to do thus far in my career. I want to live a long life. I want to live a long, fulfilled life in music. I've got dreams. I want to touch more lives. My music has healing powers, so I want to take it all around the world to do that. And I want to enjoy myself while it's doing it. And then I think legacy zaphuma khonapho somewhere. Yeah.
Ngifisela impilo enhle kakhulu. Yeah, ku family nguyomdala, nguyisisi wabo. Well yikho konokho ngiyathaba ukuthi sokunjalo.
Sugar, my city lover. So Jikizinto, Zimbabwean mibuzo, udlani kwaye uphi, ulala buqokane, benezibuzo mibuzo. Usangani sumoyo wami, za Jikizinto, niteza namhlanje za Jikizinto, Jikizinto. My sugar, sugar, my city lover. So Jikizinto, so is in love with the sun. Oh, hello, mama, yeah. Jikizinto.